And sorry to distract your attention, sir. We have, we wanted
to be defined as a sum total of its landmass of about 1 million square kilometers, a population of about 170 million people, democratic setting, huge oil and other mineral deposits. Is that what the Nigerian nation is?
Of course, my bro. You cannot be more right.
Alright, oh compatriot, kudum kudum, Nigeria's call, obey tudum tudum, to Sarah, fatherland, kudum kudum, with love and strength and faith.
My name is Uche Ejim, from Anambra State. I graduated from Lagos State University. I did banking and finance, and before then I was also in IMT Enugu. I did Fan and Applied Arts. My first encounter started when I was small. Those days when my dad, because my dad used to be a pilot, anytime he travels he buys comics, he buys cartoons. So when we watch all those things, so I was amused with the way those characters are being animated, and since then I started having passion for drawing, finding a way of how to get into that kind of line, and I started seeking for that passion, or started sorting a way of how to accomplish that goal. Cartoons that influenced me are like Superman, Batman, Tom and Jerry, and Cinderella, and Ghostbusters, Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo, and so many types. It started from 2003. There was an opening for people that wanted to learn animation in one of the institutions in Lagos, NIIT. So that is where my passion started, and ever since then I've been seeking to develop myself and improve in my animation. And my first project was we did a kind of project. We did a kind of test after our training in NIIT, and that was how it started. We started using Flash. If you are conversant with Flash, or you've seen all these ads in web pages, that is how I started. Started using images, then doing some twin and some animation, and that's how. Those are the projects, or like I say, that is how I started. I participated in Bino and Fino. It's not my major project, it's EVCL. I was one of the animators that did some of those jobs. And my own personal job, I've done Wiz and Telly. Although it's not presently on air, we're still working on it and seeing how we're going to bring it on air.
And Thomas, Wiz, let's settle this once and for all. There, over there is the living encyclopedia.
It's all about two friends that want to see a change in our nation, and one is fat, one is slim, one is smart, one is a little bit dull but is still smart, but the two of them always argue, trying to put things right and see how our government can affect our nation. So that is what Wiz and Telly crosses across our culture, our politics and various things.
Sorry to distract your attention, sir.
Anything that amuses them, they bring it up to the public and they try and debate and find a solution to the way that will best suit the nation. Wiz is coming to play draft with Telly, his friend. So before they start their discussion or argument, so it's more of animation, that's trying to interpret whatever the storyboard is trying to say or the message. So most times what we do is that it has what we call keyframes, and in between frames, so you will see some of those things. So it does, sometimes it's very complex and tedious, and sometimes we need to color them so you'll be able to know which bone, because apart from just designing the character, you must know how to rig your bones, because they come in bones. This bone is what makes it do the puppet thing. I don't know if you can see it, but if you can see it, it has, I try to color them so we can easily know which bone are moving. This is yellow, this is blue. So that's why some of them appeared on yellow here. You can see the yellow frame. Some liked it, some felt that we could still do better. My colleagues in the animation world, they were impressed, but they wanted me to push myself extra to make it much better. Looking at the high cost of doing animation, because most times it takes hours, it takes days, because it involves a lot of detailing, in the sense that it's not just you just see pictures moving. Before those pictures move, there are a lot of things that people have done into it, and we have various stages of producing animation. We have storyboarding, character design, props, we do the voiceover, then we bring in the animators. Then the animators will be the one to tell the story as the storyboard goes. So that is how the industry is like. Yes, we have a great future if Nigerian people start patronizing our own work. You know, most times people are always stuck with Disney World, Cartoon Network, and if government, or will I say all these satellite stations could give room for Nigerian or African content, I think Nigeria will, or will I say Africa as a whole, will be able to grow in that aspect of animation. The government should create an avenue for creative arts to gain ground in our country, because most of our young ones are always hooked up with Western movies, Western cartoons. Well, my advice for young folks that want to take this as a passion and as a career, first of all, you need to be trained. You need to find somebody that can mentor you, and from there you need to practice a lot, because it involves a lot of practice. It's not something that you do and pull out, and it takes a lot of discipline, because it's sometimes discouraging whereby you're trying to achieve a certain scene. Sometimes you end up doing the scene more than 8 times to get the perfect feeling of how the storyteller wants it to be.